Welcome to live chat. Williams County at Montpelier says edit. Excellent connection, but it doesn't look like it's connecting yet. It's going. Oh, there it is. So it looks like it's on. Okay, start. Ashley?
Yes. Are we live?
Okay.
Are we live? All right. Well, welcome to the Williams County Fair in Montpelier, Ohio. You are joining myself, Ashley Daly, along with my co-host, Susan Schroeder. It has been a morning already. We actually had a 3-hour drive. Each of us had over a 3-hour drive up here. Susan, have you ever been to Montpelier before?
I believe that I have.
There's our mic.
Yeah, we're in charge of everything today.
Yeah, I was
so
going to say, so we can kind of give you a quick introduction. We have a crazy day of racing all over the state of Ohio. This is one of our busiest days with four different tracks going to post. Off the top of my head, of course, we're at Montpelier. We have Old Washington. Where else are we today? Let me take a look. It is September 15th. Upper Sandusky and Worcester. So we have almost all of our racing circuits hitting the stage. We have Worcester is the Home Talent Colt Stakes. Old Washington is Southern Valley Colt. Montpelier and Upper Sandusky are both OFRC, so Ohio Fair Racing Conference.
So this first race, there's 6 horses. So you pick out one that you want to win, that you think will win, and then you go down there in the bucket, one of those buckets there, up in the top of the stairs. The top, once you get up into the stairway, there's the buckets along the benches there. Put your name in the bucket that you think will win. For instance, if you think number 3 will win, put your name ticket on there, number 3. If number 3 wins,
Okay.
for all the horses, all the people who picked number 3, and one name will be picked out and you win a prize.
So it looks like, I believe, it's our Horsemen's Association are doing quite a lot this afternoon. Between, I think they're under the grandstand, they are selling bags and t-shirts and things of that nature, and they're also doing a pick the winner. I'm not sure if you were able to hear that over our mics, but I'm not sure how their incentives are going. If it's like place $1 in each bucket, I'm not sure for which horse is going to race or win that specific race, so I guess I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay. We think that we're on, horses are gathering over here in the turn. And we have Bill on live now too, so as soon as he
so we
starts,
can hear the announcer.
Yeah, so we will be able to hear the announcer. We're going to start with apologies right away. I have never run this camera before, so it's going to be, I hope to get the whole field in during the race, but please be patient. Be kind, because Ashley and I are kind of stressed right now.
And here's our post for the first, and I will introduce you to the field.
What's the printing post word for race
Soon.
1? This is the first division of the 2-year-old Colt Pace, going for a purse of $5,518 and a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is Dracula Dragon, owned by Phil Pete of Madison, Michigan, Bob Tate of Woodland, Michigan, trained and driven by Phil Pete. Number 2 is Fear the Owl, owned by LeVan Stables of Woodstock, Ohio, Darmerfell Racing Enterprises, Sylvania, Ohio, Robert Morris of Radnor, Ohio, and Max Perry of Cable, Ohio, trained and driven by Hank LeVan. Number 3 is Okie Owl, owned by LeVan Stables of Woodstock, Ohio, Rosemary LeVan of Lewistown, Ohio, Megan LeVan of Woodstock, Ohio, and Max Perry of Cable, Ohio, trained by Hank LeVan, the driver of Louis LeVan. Number 4 is Surfing the Canyon, owned by D&K Stables LLC of Hicksville, trained by Bill Webb, the driver Don Harmon. Number 5 is Big Daddy Ralph, owned by Phil Belanger of Saline, Ohio, Jeff Kesters of Coldwater, Ohio, trained by Phil Belanger, the driver is Justin Belanger. And number 6 is Gerald Jett, owned by Jerry Meigel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Kim Pluter. Again, if you want to participate in the Pick the Winner contest, please do so. Have an enjoyable afternoon of playing in the Pick the Winner contest.
So that Pick the Winner contest, do you know anything about it?
I do. I know a lot about Pick a Winner.
Okay, so
You,
explain what's happening.
Okay, they have probably in the program, they got little sheets of paper, and you put in there, if you think the one horse is going to win, you write down the one horse and your name and address or phone number or whatever, and you put it in race number 1 bucket. And I believe then... Yeah,
okay.
So
okay.
then they pick, if number 1 wins, they pick out, keep picking until they find somebody that has number 1, and then you won.
Got it.
And I saw that they have kind of cool stuff. They had some bags with harness horses on it and some sweatshirts and T-shirts down there. So not sure what they're giving away, but
I would say it did look like it was all embroidered.
Yes.
And it was really nice stuff. Is
Really
that the Horsemen's Association?
yeah,
Yeah.
Horsemen's Association does that. So this has got a pretty active Horsemen's Association here.
Do we have any wagering at this county fair?
I don't see the tote
Honestly,
board, so
I
I don't think so.
didn't think we did. So we might actually run just a little bit quicker through them. Like, we are already heading to the gate for the first. It is a field of 6, and we score 6 wide here in Williams County in Montpelier.
So lining up down the backside on the way to the gate, the first horse in at the rail will be Dracula Drag. Comes
Speedy L, Okie L, Surfing the Canyon, Big Daddy Ralph with Gerald Jett on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
And I do have to really quick comment that 6-horse Gerald Jett is coming off of a win, relatively consistent in the money. A win, a third, a second, a fourth, and a second. But Surf in the Canyon, you know, at last start out wasn't super great. Did end up 5th, but was 3rd, 2nd, and did have a 4th and a 1st before that. So let's see how this race turns out.
Here up and pacing the first horse away is Fear the L. Up on the outside second is Big Daddy Ralph. Down at the rail third is Dracula Dragon. On the outside fourth is Okie L. In between horses fifth is Surfing the Canyon, and the last horse is Gerald Jett. As they make the turn now to head down the backside of the race over that quarter-mile mark, Hank Levan has Fear the L on top by 2.5 lengths. Racing in there second is Okie L, driven by Louis Levan. At the rail third, Dracula Dragon, driven by Phil Peden. Fourth is Big Daddy Ralph, driven by Justin Belanger. Fifth is Surfing the Canyon, driven by Don Harmon. The last horse, Gerald Jett, driven by Kim Pluter. First quarter paced in 29 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That is still Fear the L with the lead. Stablemate Okie L racing in there second. Dracula Dragon is third. Edging up a little bit on the outside fourth is Big Daddy Ralph, and also on the move fifth is Surfing the Canyon. The last horse, Gerald Jett. 6 paces, well bunches they race down to the half-mile mark. That's Hank Levan and Fear the L bringing the horses down to the half. Edging up on the outside second now is Big Daddy Ralph. At the rail third is Okie L. Moving up fourth is Surfing the Canyon. First half paced in 1 minute and 3/5. As they rate round the turn now to head down the backside, they race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one that catches Fear the L. The closest horse second is Okie L. Now ranging up on the outside third is Surfing the Canyon. Moving up fourth now comes Gerald Jett. And fifth along the rail is Dracula Dragon, and the last horse on the outside going down the backside. That is Gerald Jett. Heading over the 3/4 mile mark. That's still Fear the L with the lead. On the outside second, that is Surfing the Canyon, 3/4 in 1:31 and 3/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That is still Fear the L lead. Okie L on the rail second. Surfing the Canyon third, and 3 wide down comes Gerald Jett. As they turn toward home, that is Fear the L with the lead. Fear the L and Okie L. Fear the L and Okie L as they race through the lane. Fear the L at the rail. Okie L on the outside. Fear the L and Okie L. Fear the L and Okie L. It's going to be tight at the wire. It looks like Okie L might have got the win there. Father beat son, I think. Close at the wire, though, between Okie L and Fear the L. 1 mile and 2:04.
And 204, seemingly the first race is going to go to the 3 Okie L. I don't think that could have gone for the Levans any better. And, you know, when they were post-parade, I was taking a look because obviously, you know, especially if harness racing is a generational thing, your silks tend to be like your fathers, or your mothers, that come before you, that taught you the sport. I want to say the only noticeable difference at this distance, right, I'm in the grandstand, the only difference between Hank and Louie's colors are the sleeves. The very bottom of the sleeves, I should say. I think Louie's was all maroon and Hank's was white, tipped white.
It is hard to see at a distance.
I want to say, and Harrison, of course, was so the brother right under Hank. He, of course, was in the industry for quite a while, and I'm trying to remember what his colors look like, and they're still very similar, but I can't remember what difference they were between the two.
They all have that big L on the
Yep.
back.
And that, of course, came from Herb. That was honestly not a bad little first race, though. I think we were three wide in every turn.
Yeah, I just hope that I kept most of the horses in the viewfinder. It is, it's really hard to see. There's quite a glare in my viewfinder, so it's very hard to make sure. And I will try later on to telescope in to get a little closer on the backside, but I just wanted to make sure that I had the horses as close as I could for the first couple
Bring
races.
Okie out back to the winner's circle. Bring Okie out back to the winner's circle. And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Woodstock, Lewistown, and Cable, Ohio, comes number 3, Okie. All by the Levan Stables, Rosemary Levan, Megan Levan, and Max Perry, trained by Hank Levan, and driven to victory this afternoon by Louis Levan.
This is
Now
a
a
little.
fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association will be presented to Okie, the winner of race 1.
It's a little hard to see. The winner's circle is down at the as
Let's
you're
do a big
looking at
hand
the track
here
on the
for
right
Louis
side of the
Levan
grandstand.
And Okie.
And I'm curious how much help the Levans brought today, because they do have quite a few in, and I want to say they're all stacked. At least 2 or around 2 in a couple of races. And so I wonder if Hank went back to the trailer and had to unhook and start tripping himself.
I noticed when we drove in that quite a few of the horses were racing out of their trailers. I don't know what the barn situation is here.
I know I was trying to look too, because I parked over by the trailers, and it seems to be like most of them are racing right out of their trailer. I'm not even sure, because there is a horse barn over on this third turn, but it looks like it's a riding horse barn because there is an arena pretty close to it.
I'm just trying to follow the winner back to the barn area. We can. So it looks like the gate is right up there where all the trailers are back there. Right there's the starting gate.
I have to admit, I don't know if Okie was really on my radar for that race specifically. You know, 17 lifetime starts make that 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 3/3. Does have a mark actually taken in Marysville at 2:01 and 3. But if you're taking a look back, if you want to join us in looking at the
And the official
program,
placings for race 1 from the top. Number 1, Dracula Dragon was 5th. Number 2, Fear the L was 2nd. Number 3, Okiel was the winner. Number 4, Surfing the Canyon was third. Number 5, Big Daddy Ralph was sixth. And number 6, Gerald Jet was fourth. Time of the first quarter was 29 3/5. The half was in 1 minute and 3/5. The 3 quarters in 1:32 and 1/5 with a mile in 2:04. From the top it should read 5:2:1 3:64, a mile in 2:04.
But what I was saying, if you would like to join us in looking at the program this afternoon, head over to harnessracingohio.com/video, and that is where you can see all of our streams today, no matter what platform they are located on. You can directly go to that website and always find where you want to watch, and the programs are also posted under that website. But kind of going back again to Okie L, wasn't really on my radar for this first race, just because last start out ended up 6th, did have a 3rd at Richwood on September 5th, but then again 6th, 4th, 4th, 7th. So nice little win for Louie. That was the first division of the 2-year-old colt pace. Race 2, we are going into the first division of the 3-year-old filly trot. So we're going to be switching it up just a little bit. Going to be a purse of $4,968. It's a field of 5. So I do not believe we have any on the track for post parade. We have some obviously still warming up. So I will quickly go through our field. So we have the 1 Feisty Pistol. It's going to be trained by Chris Beaver and driven by B.J. Roberts. 19 lifetime starts, 8 of those wins, 4 seconds, 3/3. Just this year alone has made over $48,000 with a mark made at Scioto Downs in 156 and 2. Trying to see. I'm not sure what his best time beaten overall is, but in these last few lines, it does look like he did end up going at Scioto in 55 and 1 with Aaron Merriman in the bike. That was the beginning of August, so not too terribly long ago. The 2 Shiza Mercedes, driven by Skip DeMall, trained by Brian Boring. 16 lifetime starts, 5 wins, 4/3. The 3 Grandma Girl, trained by Anthony Smith, driven by Charles Taylor. So actually didn't have any starts as a 2-year-old. It's just recently made the track debut. Only 3 starts, and that began middle of July. 4 is Boom Boom Gertie with Pierce Henry, trained by Chad Williamson. And 5 Tulsa Bell, trained by Eric. Oh, I'm going to not pronounce that last name correctly.
We just spell it.
Yeah. Starts with a J. Jayek, maybe? Eric Jayek Jr. So I am so sorry if I butchered that. And that 5 Tulsa Bell will be driven by Don Harmon.
I don't know if you mentioned it or not, Ashley, but the Feisty Pistol is sitting 3rd in the Ohio Fair Championship points.
I didn't even write that down.
Yeah, so that this filly will certainly be in the fair championships if at all possible. We've just got a few more fairs to garner points, so she certainly, if she races good today, she should be right up there. And that fair championship is October 9th at Hollywood Gaming, and each division of these colts and fillies will be going for $40,000. So I'm sure Feisty Pistol is ready for that.
And actually, I mean, super consistent Super consistent filly. Again, I shouldn't say. I think I messed up the first time. I believe I said 19 lifetime starts. That correction, it is 19 2021 starts. So just as a 3-year-old, this 3-year-old season, she's been out 19 times. Won 8. I mean, more than tripled her money this year, which is always exciting.
Yeah, didn't really race much as a 2-year-old. Only 5 starts
Yeah.
and a second and 2 thirds. So probably took it easy with her as a 2-year-old, and it's paying off in her 3-year-old season.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back through her last 6 races, it's been second, first, third, first. But last start out was up against Tulsa Bell, so the 5, and Tulsa Bell did come out on top. So I'm interested to see how this race goes. Just, and considering post position and things like that.
It kind of appears to be a 2-horse race, the 1 and the 5. Boom Boom Gertie's been making a lot of breaks. Grandma Girl's been making a lot of breaks. She's a Mercedes, not so much, but she hasn't been, well, she did trot a mile in 59 and 4 at Northfield Park. So if the 3 and the 4, Grandma Girl and Boom Boom Gertie, can behave themselves, they'll make a race out of it.
Yeah.
They just have to.
Say
flat.
crazier things have happened. We say it might be a 2-horse race, but we never know
Right.
how these babies, which given, they are sophomores, but they are still young horses.
And you never know how they're going to react. They come to a different place. Everything is, the rides are not going yet in the first turn. I don't know if y'all can see that, but they're not really going. So not too scary of stuff over here. And the second turn, last turn, is real calm and quiet. It's just a lot of trees and a couple buildings over there. So it's very calming coming out of that last turn.
I got a text from Harrison Levan that says, we were talking about silks, right? Dad, so Louie is maroon and white only. Hank is maroon and white outlined in gold. And Harrison is maroon and white outlined in silver.
Oh, gosh. That's hard to see from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess they're watching it. So Harrison probably isn't here, but he's watching it.
Yeah, I think we are live streaming on YouTube. Let me see if we have any comments yet. And here we go for post parade of the second.
For race 2, this is the first division of the 3-year-old filly trot. Going for a purse of $4,968 and a fly sheet courtesy of Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is Feisty Pistol, owned by Chris Beaver of Radnor, Ohio, David Miola of Powell, Ohio, Don Robinson of Cardington, Ohio, and RBH Ventures Incorporated of New York City, trained by Chris Beaver, the driver B.J. Roberts. Number 2 is She's a Mercedes, owned by Donna Moore of Adrian, Michigan, Ernie Ayers of Sand Creek, Michigan, trained by Brian Boring, the driver Skip DeMore. Number 3 is Grandma Girl, owned and trained by Tony Smith of Wasion, the driver is Chuck Taylor. Number 4 is Boom Boom Gertie, owned by Rick Estel of Oakwood and Pete Meyer of Hamler, trained by Chad Williamson, the driver of Pierce Henry. And number 5 is Tulsa Bell, owned by Brookside Stables of Grable, Indiana, trained by Eric Jake Jr., the driver Don Harmon.
I want to say, so I do not have very updated standings for the top drivers, but I want to say Pierce is up there, isn't he?
I think so. I think he's
Yeah.
up probably in the top
10 to 15?
yeah. Roger went on a little vacation with his family, and so we lost our statistics guy.
For just a few days, yeah.
He is at Old Washington today, so he's probably telling everybody on the Old Washington feed the statistics, but we don't have them right
It
yet.
looks like Roger had a great time. I saw yesterday on Facebook, I'm sure many of you have him also. He was on a jet ski. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah. Yep, almost 79 years old, and he's out on a jet ski.
His
Right.
birthday is Jug Week.
Yes,
It's
I think
Jug
so.
Week, yeah. Which, of course, we are fast approaching, and we can talk about that in a little bit. We are really buckling down. It has been, again, not only just are we having an insane day, we've got 4 different tracks going to post, 4 different fairs going to post. We are trying our hardest and as quick as possible to get ready for the biggest week of harness racing.
Our 5 days in Delaware, we're going to be doing so many programs. We'll have the trackside lives starting about 2.5 hours before post time each day. Our trackside live is also going to include what used to be called the speaker series that the USTA did. They have chosen not to do that this year, so we are taking it over, and USTA is going to help us out with some equipment, which we are very, very grateful for. But we will be bringing you a lot of information. Certainly we want you to come to Delaware, and we also want you to bet on Delaware, so you go to the RTN, but we want you to watch our show too. So just like some of you have been doing this summer where you've got a couple different feeds going and you're at home, we hope you do the same for Delaware.
So lining up down the backside on the Whitley Gate, the first horse in at the rail will be Feisty Pistol. And comes She's a Mercedes, Grandma Girl, Boom Boom Gertie with Tulsa Bell on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
Susan, I have to say, maybe I'm insane, but if we're looking at our programs, it does say win, place, show wagering.
It does? Yeah.
Yes. I have absolutely no idea where those would be.
I don't think that they are. I think that probably was just carried over.
Okay. And here is our first division of the 3-year-old Philly Trotters. Purse of $4,968.
The year off and trotting the first horse away at the rail is Feisty Pistol. On the outside second is She's a Mercedes. Charging up in the third is Tulsa Bell. Moving up fourth is Boom Boom Gertie. And the last horse is Grandma Girl. As they make the turn now to head down the backside, the race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Skip them all, moves She's a Mercedes up to gain command by a length and a half. Trotting in their second is Feisty Pistol, driven by B.J. Roberts. Third is Tulsa Bell, driven by Don Harmon. Fourth is Boom Boom Gertie, driven by Pierce Henry. And the last horse is Grandma Girl, driven by Chuck Taylor. First quarter trotted in 28 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's She's a Mercedes now by 4.5 lengths. Feisty Pistol continues to trot in their second. Third is Tulsa Bell. Boom Boom Gertie is fourth, and the last horse is Grandma Girl. No change as they race down toward the half. Let's skip them all, and She's a Mercedes bringing the horses down to the half. 3.5 lengths back second is Feisty Pistol. Tulsa Bell trots in their third. Then comes Boom Boom Gertie and Grandma Girl. First half trotted in 58 3/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one that catches She's a Mercedes. The closest horse second is Feisty Pistol. And closing in third now is Tulsa Bell. Boom Boom Gertie trots fourth, and off stride fifth now is Grandma Girl. Going to that 3/4 mile mark now, B.J. Roberts moves Feisty Pistol up to gain command. Dropping back second is She's a Mercedes. Moving up third in the middle of the track comes Tulsa Bell. Then comes Boom Boom Gertie and Grandma Girl. 3 quarters in, 1:30. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Feisty Pistol with the lead, but Tulsa Bell is gaining with every stride. Coming back third is She's a Mercedes. As they race toward home, that's Feisty Pistol and Tulsa Bell. Feisty Pistol and Tulsa Bell as they race through the lane. Feisty Pistol at the rail, Tulsa Bell on the outside. It's going to be Feisty Pistol, and here they all come. Tulsa Bell up for second. She's a Mercedes for third. A mile in 2:01 2/5.
Here we have our last crossing the finish line. Mile in 2:01 2 goes to the one, Feisty Pistol. I have to say, now we did have a break. Grandma Girl did make a break on that back half after the first half. But that especially those front 3 horses. All summer long, that is the best, like the strongest gaited trotters, filly trotters I have seen.
It's just so nice to see them all stay trotting.
Yeah. Especially as we are rounding out our fair season, it's fun to see the growth.
Yes.
Especially, from we start, is it early June or mid-June is Putnam? Kind of.
Paulding is mid-June.
Paulding.
Yep.
So, is that Putnam County or am I crazy?
No,
it's Paulding County.
Paulding County. Yeah. Putnam, I think, is Oak Harbor. I think that's the second one.
Okay.
Trying to find B.J. Roberts and his horse. I'm having trouble.
So we are rolling up a little bit of dust here. But they have been working the track like crazy this morning as we were setting up.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Redner, Palm, and Cardington, Ohio, and New York City, comes number 1, Feisty Pistol. Owned by Chris Beaver, David Viola, Don Robinson, and RDH Ventures Incorporated. Trained by Chris Beaver and driven to victory this afternoon by B.J. Roberts. Feisty Pistol will receive a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Let's have a big hand here for B.J. Roberts and Feisty Pistol. Here are the official placings for race 2 from the top. Number 1, Feisty Pistol was the winner. Number 2, She's a Mercedes was 3rd. Number 3, Grandma Girl was 5th. Number 4, Boom Boom Gertie was 4th. And number 5, Tulsa Bell was 2nd. Time of the first quarter was 28 3/5. The half was in 58 3/5. The 3 quarters in 1:30, with a mile in 2:01 2/5. On the top it should read 1:35.42 at the bottom. The mile in 2:01 2/5. If you get out your tickets as you got for your grandstand giveaways, we're going to have our first drawing. First drawing right now in the grandstand giveaways. The winning number is 3974899. That's 3974899. Go down there to the bottom of the grandstand where you pick up your tickets to get your prize.
So, second race went 2:01 2, and I really thought we were going to approach that track record here for the trot. It was set in 2004 by Predictable Lady in 2 minutes and 3. I have to say, these opening quarters are kind of surprising me. Our first race opener in 29 3. This 3-year-old filly trot went in 28 3.
If you'll turn to race 10 in your program, number 3, Rollersville, makes the driver Jason Merriman. Jason Merriman will drive number 3, Rollersville in race 10. Turn to race 11. Race 11, number 3, Cedar Point Beach. Change the driver to Jason Merriman. Jason Merriman will drive number 3, Cedar Point Beach in race 11.
Okay, Ashley, can you give those driver changes?
Yes.
Because I had Bill shut off.
Yes, absolutely. So, just currently, we were just told, so if you race 10, if you're looking at a program with us, the 3 Rollersville, originally Pierce Henry, it will now be Jason Merriman. So again, race 10, horse 3, Rollersville will be driven by Jason Merriman. And so race 11, the 3, Cedar Point Beach, will also be driven by Jason Merriman. Jason Merriman to drive the 3 and the 11th. So we don't have too many driver changes this afternoon. We do have a pretty big program. We have 16 races today, and I'm assuming just because Today is the one and only day that Montpelier holds harness racing.
Yeah, so when they hold all 8 divisions on one day,
It tends to get a little
A little large, yep.
Yeah, because of course we have our OFRC stakes, but then also Signature Series and Ladies Driving. And there are 2 Signature Series, one for pace, one for trot, and 2 divisions of Ladies Driving Series, along with 2 divisions of most of the OFRC stakes.
Yeah, there is a lot of racing going on today. I'm sure if you are watching us on YouTube or at harnessracingohio.com, you can also see we should be having Old Washington should be going now, and Worcester, or maybe Worcester.
Yes, Worcester's post time today, September 15th, is 12 noon. Old Washington was 12 noon. We, of course, were 1, and Upper Sandusky is 5 p.m.
So lots of racing to see.
And, of course, this is not Susan and I's first time on air by any means, but our first time kind of in charge of shooting and setting all this stuff up. And I wish that you guys could look where I'm sitting right now. The amount of
I wonder if I can
plugins,
get over there.
I don't know. The amount of cords that we have, I don't know how anybody ever keeps it straight. Frank, all the props for you. You can you can kind of see there's so many. That's not even, you're kind of getting the clean version versus what's actually happening back here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But we're doing it. We're doing it.
I just noticed after that race, it used to be like when I was training horses, I couldn't get my hands off of the little, I don't know, levers or whatever you call them here. It's kind of like when you get done with a horse that's pulling hard, you can't unclench your hands. So same kind of thing running this camera.
Who would have ever thought?
Yeah. But we have third race coming up. We have 6 in it. We must have did they give us a driver for the 6th yet?
For the 6th.
He was that great driver TBA was listed.
Yes, skipped along.
Okay.
Skipped along. I just got a text. I don't think Worcester's up and running right now. They have a rain delay.
Oh gosh.
Yes, so Worcester is on a rain delay, but we still should have Old Washington going, and Roger is there.
Yep.
Like we said, he stopped on his way back from vacation.
We were worried about Worcester because they said, somebody told us yesterday, it's 70% chance of rain tomorrow.
Oh.
So they were a little bit worried about it. So I hope they can get that program in.
Yeah.
We're also, if they do delay it and come about that a little bit later, we are going to have a hard time getting Upper Sandusky in too. So we're doing the best we can, but we've only got 3 sets of cameras. Well, here is the post parade.
Our start parading post word for race 3. This is the second division of the 2-year-old colt pace, going for a purse of $5,518 and a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. 1 is Bonus Time Out, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated, Megan Levan of Woodstock, Ohio, trained and owned by Hank Levan. Number 2 is Buddy the Bookie, owned and trained by Jason Elser of Montpelier. The driver is Pierce Henry. Number 3 is Creekside Johnny, owned by Greg Gardner of Sheridan, Michigan, trained by Paul Clore Jr. The driver is Chuck Taylor. Number 4 is Heaven's Gonna Rock, owned by Tony Langhan of Hillsdale, Michigan, and John Dieters of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, trained by Tony Langhan. The driver Jason Merriman. Number 5 is Our Holy Terror, owned by Bill Webb of Defiance and Denny Miller of Archville, trained by Bill Webb. The driver Don Harmon. And number 6 is Sky Dawson, owned by Jennifer Balmer of LaSalle, Michigan, Brian Boring of Adrian, Michigan, trained by Brian Boring. The driver Skip DeMont.
I feel like I'm showing you a lot of people during the post parade. The way we're situated, that's just what you're going to have to see today is people's heads.
I have another update on Worcester. I lied. I lied to everybody. They did begin racing. So let me reread this text. Finished 4 races, 3 under rain.
Okay, so they're in a rain
So,
delay now.
Yes, they are currently in a rain delay. I'm trying to understand if they went through with the fourth race. I don't know, but regardless, they did start their program, but they are in a rain delay. And last night. So I live in Dayton, which is by any means not close to where we're at today, but it stormed like crazy in Dayton. I was worried about it today, all night long. I don't think we have rain on our forecast at all. The clouds aren't super bright and white, they're not concerning, but they're not concerning.
Right. It looks like I think we're going to get through this day. We're getting notices from people, so trying to keep you informed too, but you can go back and forth on Harness Racing Ohio. You can certainly see them all. It looks like they're just giving the horses one score after they come out, so one score and right to the gate.
And this is our second division of the 2-year-old colt pace, field of 6, so we will have no one trailing. This first division went to Okie L in 2:04.
It's one of my favorite horses' names in this race, the Buddy the Bookie. I really like that name.
Not a bad little horse either. Last start out was third, but before then had 3 wins in a row. So 9 lifetime starts as a 2-year-old. 3 of those wins, 3 of those thirds. Took a mark at Wasion in 2:01. Has just over 14,000 in lifetime earnings.
We've got Sky Dawson. The 6 hole is very lightly. Pace in 2-3 and 1, 2-4 and 2-3 and 1. So those are pretty good times for first times on the track.
I say it's
Lining up
actually
down the backside on the way to the gate. The first horse in at the rail will be bonus time out. Then comes Buddy the Bookie, Creekside Johnny, Heaven's Gonna Rock, Our Holy Terror with Sky Dawson on the outside. There at the post, starting gate is rolling now.
say Sky Dawson's only been racing for about 3 weeks. First start was in the end of August on the 24th. Buddy the Bookie's last start was at Iota Downs on 9/11. Went in 55 and 2. Say, yeah, definitely this 2-horse. When he makes his way to Iota, he's in a little heavy. He's been with Slingshot, and let's see how he races here.
Chasing the first horse away is Buddy the Bookie. On the outside second is Heaven's Gonna Rock. At the rail third is Bonus Time Out. Moving up fourth is Creekside Johnny. And their fifth is Our Holy Terror. And the last horse is Sky Dawson. As they make the turn now to head down the backside, they're racing toward that quarter-mile mark. Pierce Henry has Buddy the Bookie on top by 3 lengths. Racing in their second is Heaven's Gonna Rock, driven by Jason Merriman. Moving third is Bonus Time Out, driven by Hank Levan. Fourth is Creekside Johnny, driven by Chuck Taylor. Racing fifth is Our Holy Terror, driven by Don Harmon. The last horse is Sky Dawson, driven by Skip Moe. What was that again? First quarter was in 30 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That is Buddy the Bookie with the lead. Racing in there second. That is Heaven's Gonna Rock. Racing third, that is Bonus Time Out. Racing fourth is Creekside Johnny. And comes Our Holy Terror and Sky Dawson. Past the half-mile mark. That is still Buddy the Bookie with the lead. First half paced in 101 and 1/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside, they'll race over to that 3/4 mile mark. Along the rail with the lead, that's Buddy the Bookie, but pouring on the pressure to the outside second is Creekside Johnny. Heaven's Gonna Rock is racing in their third. Bonus Time Out is fourth. Racing fifth is Our Holy Terror, and the last horse is Sky Dawson. Past that 3/4 mile mark, that's Buddy the Bucky along the rail, and on the outside pouring on the pressure, Creekside Judd. 3/4 in 131 and 2/5 as they race around the upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Buddy the Bucky with the lead. On the outside second is Creekside Johnny. Bonus time out along the rail third. As they race for Buddy the Bucky and closing fast on the outside, Creekside Johnny. But it's going to be Buddy the Bucky, and here the outcome. Creekside Johnny up for place. Heaven's going to rock for third. A mile and 2:01.
So the second division of the 2-year-old colt pacers does go faster, 3 seconds faster than that first division. Pierce Henry won that pretty easily.
And what'd you say, coming off of a 55-mile last?
Yes.
Just a few days ago.
Yeah. It was a BSS. Ended up third. Driven by Wilder at Scioto Downs, but of course, didn't take that mark in 55 and 2.
Tickets. We have another drawing here.
But did.
Next ticket number winning is 3974852. That's 3974852, a winning number.
No, but I definitely want to give this little colt some props, because he is. If you're taking a look back at his lines, he does race pretty heavy. He's been in with Slingshot, Terminator, Rose Run Explosion, Trey Cruz, Seaside Way. Let me see who else. Velocity Chips, Odds on Capitalism. So it's not like he's racing thin. He's not racing thin at all, but seems to be able to keep up with them pretty well. But the fares might be, just suited just a touch better for him. And you can't complain walking away with just over $2,500.
Circle where the winners go. Coming from right here in Montpelier comes number 2, Buddy the Bookie. Owned and trained by Jason Elser and driven to victory this afternoon by Pierce Henry. Buddy the Bookie will be the recipient of a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Let's have a big hand here for Jason Elser, Pierce Henry, and Buddy the Bookie. Here are the official placings for race 3 from the top. Number 1, Bonus Time L was 5th. Number 2, Buddy the Bookie was the winner. Number 3, Creekside Johnny was 2nd. Number 4, Heaven's Gonna Rock was 3rd. Number 5, Our Holy Terror was 4th. Number 6, Sky Dawson was 6th. Time of the first quarter was 30 and 3/5. The half was in 1:01 and 1/5. The 3/4 in 1:31 and 2/5. With a mile and 2:01. From the top, it should read 5:12.346. A mile and 2:01.
Creekside Johnny, who ended up second, was making a pretty good comeback. He was a good-looking gray horse. Not sure if you caught that. Real dark.
Yeah, I did see that.
Really
He was
pretty
really
horse.
Pretty.
They always catch my eye just because you don't see very many at all. And I know I've told this story a handful of times when I've been on air, but specifically in my family's, my dad's barn. We never had, I couldn't even tell you how many horses we had. Generally anywhere from 40 to 70 any given year. There were almost no grays. I think I can remember, grays, red horses, probably 3 or 4 of any color. So I always like to point them out.
Yeah, and you don't see, I can't remember where we were the other day, but I saw such a bright chestnut, and you don't see those much anymore either. And this colt, he was so striking because he was just as bright a chestnut as could be.
When I I have to say, never had many horses of color, of course, in the standardbred barn, but whenever I was running my rodeo circuits and doing the horseback stuff, when I was on the market for something new, I always wanted to make sure I had a pretty horse.
Yeah.
And so many times my dad would be like, that doesn't win you money. What they look
Yes.
like doesn't win you money.
right.
Which is true, but I still wanted a pretty horse.
We were talking about that yesterday because one of the horses that won was owned by Jughead Stable, and how that used to be a term somewhat derogatory, but also sometimes a term of endearment for some of the standardbreds because their heads didn't look as pretty.
Yes,
so they call them Jugheads. And David Myrick chimed in and said, "I'd much rather have a slow one that isn't quite as pretty. No, I'd rather have a fast, ugly horse than a slow, pretty horse." So.
Oh yeah, especially in this industry, right?
Yeah.
That's so I think it was always funny. I am actually really good friends with my equine professor that I met at Wilmington College, and whenever, your intro classes, very basic level, here's your collar, here's your breeds, and she has off-track thoroughbreds, is what she does. And whenever we'd come to the standardbred portion of the class, doesn't matter which class it was, but if standardbreds were ever brought up, she always made a point to say, and I do have to agree with her, they tend to be the most ugly put together horses, just because they're not necessarily, they're just long, Of course we look for conformation and things like that, but like quarter horses, what do you think of? The big butts, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
the proportions tend to be different on standardbreds than any other horse because we breed for certain.
Breed for speed.
Yes, we breed for speed and not necessarily what they look like.
Yeah.
Of
Yep.
course, again, conformation is important. With all of these sales coming up, we do have the Ohio Select coming up Friday.
Friday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
But I do think that the breed has changed over the years, where that they are a little bit prettier, and they are. Well, what is that? They always say beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Oh.
I like a plain bay horse myself. I don't even like any little spots on them. I just like
Yeah.
a plain
Yeah.
bay, and they're a very beautiful horse to me. And these horses are going on now. People are getting a little bit more used to them, and they are going on with their second careers and
Yes.
just making absolutely great horses. We were at Ohio Standardbred and Friends put a show back in August, and oh my gosh, there was some beautiful standardbreds there. Just when they're all decked out in their, they had their English outfits on, and they were just fantastic looking horses. They do make wonderful off the track horses.
I would say, and there's so many different routes they can go. So
Yeah.
many different routes.
Yep.
And even like the pacers, of course, their gait rides so much different on their back than many of the other riding horses. But you wouldn't believe how fast they move out on like trails
Yeah.
and stuff when they do hit into gates. And the ride is so much smoother.
Yeah.
So much smoother.
Yeah. They are great horses. I mean, when we race them, we all love them, but my gosh, there's so many opportunities for them afterwards. So it's a great thing. We've got a beautiful day here. You can see the flag blowing, and it's just a nice breeze. And computer says it's 72 degrees, so it's a very nice day here at Montpelier.
I almost brought a jacket. I
Yeah.
almost grabbed a sweatshirt out of my car just because we've been used to like 90-degree weather, and this 72 in September feels chilly versus, when it's 72 in May, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so warm.
Yeah.
So
That's true. I had one of those Facebook memories pop up this morning, and it said, "Note to self: when it's September, take a sweatshirt to the fair." So
yeah.
now we've got the 4th race coming up.
We do.
This
It
is a Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving
yes,
Series.
the first division. Field of 5, I believe, in both, but this 4th specifically. We have the 1 Delaney R, driven by Jennifer Main. 2 Better Win with Courtney Macon. 3 Poof Daddy with Krista Harmon. And 4 Insane in Spain, Emily Hay, and 5, Dreaming Dragon with Mandy Jones. Let me go check. I'm going to go try to pull up. Is Mandy Jones in the standings? I believe she's first in the standings I'll take a look though.
Oh, yeah, that I'm not sure of.
See if I
Have
can
not
pull it up.
been-
Last I saw that she was first in the standings. Or maybe I am.
If you'll get out your tickets, we'll have another drawing. Get out your tickets. Another drawing right now. And the winning number is 3974915. That's 3974915.
Okay, so Spring Haven Farm Lady Driving Series, the point standings after Finley. So it has been a while. The last update that I see is September 3rd. Heather Woolham's first, Amy Wingard second, Emily Hay third, and Mandy Jones is
Our celebrating
fourth.
post word for race 4. This is the first division of the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series Pace. Going for a purse of $750 and a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is Delaney Young, home of the Hayden Stables LLC of Temperance, Michigan, trained by Greg Bates and the driver Jennifer May. Number 2 is Better Win, owned and trained by Mark Laughlin of Wapakoneta. The driver is Courtney Macon. Number 3 is Poop Daddy, trained and driven by Krista Harmon of Jackson, Michigan. Number 4 is Insane in Spain, by Tim Bolenball of Convoy, John Weisenberger Jr. of Oakwood, trained by John Weisenberger Jr., the driver Emily Hay. And number 5 is Dreaming Dragon, by Mandy Jones of Greenville, trained by Brian Jones, the driver Mandy Jones.
Okay, there are your ladies driving series horses. From what I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley, but I think if they drive 2 horses in one day, they get to pick the one that got the highest points and use that. They don't get double points.
I am not the person to ask.
Okay.
I am not sure on that one at all.
Pretty sure that's the way it goes, but maybe somebody will let us know. But again, they will have their final at Delaware. Kind of an exciting race when they get to race over that Delaware Oval.
Do you know what day that usually is?
I don't know where my Huff's Guide went.
I guess I can take a look.
Yeah, we have the Springhaven Ladies Pace and the Signature Series are both point-based series, and they earn the points during the summer, and then the finals are both at Delaware, and always very exciting.
So September 21st, the Tuesday of Jug Week, is the Spring Haven Farms Championship. And so we are making our way to the gate for the
Up
fourth.
down the backside on the way to the gate. The first horse in at the rail will be Delaney Young. And comes Better Win, Poop Daddy, Insane in Spain with Dreaming Dragon on the outside. There at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
Some horses in here that have made a ton of money in their life.
Better Win coming out with 296. Lifetime Insane in Spain 291. Actually, almost we were $1 short of 292. But I have to say I do like the 3 in here. It kind of ends up his horse Poof Daddy either wins or finishes towards the end of the pack.
Here, off and pacing, that's Poop Daddy going to the middle of the racetrack. Down at the rail second, that's Delaney Young, driven by Jennifer May. Up on the outside third is Insane in Spain. At the rail fourth, that's Better Win, and the last horse is Dreaming Dragon. As they head down the backside, the race over toward that quarter-mile mark. That's Poop Daddy, driven by Krista Harmon by 2 lengths. Racing second is Delaney Yard, driven by Jennifer Main. At the rail third is Better Win, driven by Courtney Macon. On the outside fourth is Insane in Spain, driven by Emily Hay. And racing fifth is Dreaming Dragon, driven by Mandy Jones. First quarter paced in 30 2/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Poop Daddy by a length and a half. Racing second is Delaney R. At the rail third is Better Win. On the outside fourth is Insane in Spain. And the last horse is Dreaming Dragon. 5 paces pretty well bunched as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Krista Harmon and Poop Daddy bringing the horses down to the half. 2 lengths back second is Delaney R. On the outside third is Insane in Spain. Along the rail fourth, that is Better Win. And the last horse is Dreaming Dragon. First half paced in 101 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Poop Daddy. The closest horse second is Delaney R. On the outside third is Insane in Spain. At the rail fourth is Dreaming Dragon. And the last horse is Better Win. All 5 patients still well bunched to go to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Poop Daddy with the lead. On the outside second is Insane in Spain. Delaney R along the rail third. Dreaming Dragon along the rail fourth. And on the outside fifth is Better Win. Three quarters in 133. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That is Poop Daddy with the lead. Insane in Spain racing second. Along the rail third, Delaney R. On the outside fourth is Better Win. The last horse, Dreaming Dragon. As they race toward home, that's Poop Daddy. Insane in Spain and closing fast on the outside is Dreaming Dragon. But it's going to be Poop Daddy and Ilioka. Looked like Insane in Spain got up for second and maybe Delaney R for third. A mile in 2:01 3/5.
So, the first division of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series goes to the 3, Puff Daddy and Krista Harmon. I did see Insane in Spain finishing second, but I'm not sure. We are directly in front of this finish line, but I am not sure who ended up in that show. Insane in Spain. Gotta give him his props. Sparked every step of that mile. Say if he had a little bit of an easier trip, definitely would have held it hotter to Puff Daddy.
I get the feeling that Poof Daddy is one of Bill Peters, our announcer's favorite names.
So that 3 took a mark at 4 years old and won 53 4 at Running Aces. Were you up there?
Yep,
That's
I was
what
there
I
for
thought.
4 years.
That's what I thought.
Great track.
I guess I didn't even mention. So, Krista Harmon not only drove, but trains and owns this horse.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Jackson, Michigan, comes number 3, Poop Daddy, on train and over the victory by Krista Harmon. Poof Daddy will be the recipient of a fly sheet, courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Let's do a big hand here for the Harmon family.